Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing, and before we get into the price action, you can see RippleNet. RippleNet is a decentralized global network of banks and payments providing users using Ripple distributed finance technology, which provides real-time messaging, clearing, and settlement of financial transactions. Ripple connects banks, payments providers, digital assets, and exchanges, and cooperates via RippleNet to provide one frictionless experience to send monetary globally, right? This is very interesting, and this is some of the things that make XRP different than the rest of the cryptos, right? XRP lets payment providers and other financial institutions minimize liquidity costs while improving their customer experience because payments into emerging markets often require pre-funded local currency accounts around the world. Liquidity costs are high. XRapid helps to lower the capital requirements for liquidity. XRapid usually uses a digital asset XRP to offer on-demand liquidity, which lowers cost while enabling real-time payments in emerging markets. Very important for expansion and mass adoption. Builds for enterprises using XRP offers banks and payment providers an effective and efficient, scalable, reliable liquidity option to serve cross-border payments. And that's a big thing for XRP, and that's a big thing that'll propel this into the future as it starts getting more and more adopted and more use case, right? RippleNet use case. By joining RippleNet, banks, payments, providers, exchanges, and corporates can address many commercial use cases, including e-invoicing, international supply chain payments, global currency accounts, real-time cash pooling, international bill pay, real-time remittance, and international peer-to-peer payments. RippleNet members. Ripple collaborates with financial institutions worldwide. More than 100 financial institutions have joined RippleNet, including the United States, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce in Canada, Koto, some bank in India, a bank in Brazil, a bank in India, Singapore, Brazil, Canada, China, UAE, the UK has a few of them, Australia, Sweden, Japan, Thailand's got a couple of them there. So Ripple Network is fast expanding in the field of peer-to-peer payments and in the institutional and banks, and that is something that we're going to need to pay attention to, as that is a valid use case for XRP to have some very real value into the future as the crypto bear market works itself out over the next 12 to 18 months, right? And it's almost time to heavily start stacking XRP based on our supply zone areas, and you can see the Bitcoin price currently is sitting in between still our upper resistance, sitting below our lower support, and sitting below our upper resistance and sitting just above our lower support. And that's what we got to watch out for in the coming days. If we zoom into the Bitcoin price, is are we coming up to upper resistance and going to get back into this area up here, into this rising channel and our bear flag, or are we going to get rejected and end up down at the 19,969? That's what we got to watch out for in the daily time frame. You can see we're in this rising channel right there, but it's actually a bear flag, just like back here, right? Bear flag, and just like this much bigger bear flag right here. I mean, look how similar that all is. Bear flag 1, breakdown. Bear flag 2, breakdown. Bear flag 3, and there's going to be a breakdown. And out of this breakdown, you go from the top of the pole, this is the top of the flagpole, to the bottom of the flag, and then you drag it to a point of a breakout, and say it broke out over there, that gets you all the way down here into that $13,330-ish range, and that is exactly the underneath target that old Vincenzo'S had for about 12 months. And we moved this over to the side somewhere. See that? Our target over here. Let's move that over. $13,336 Bitcoin target. Why does this keep moving? This should be locked, but it's not. And that prediction was made. We want that back there. That prediction was made over here, January 3rd, back when the Bitcoin price was at 63,336 and rising, which would be way back here when we were forming this double top, way back up in there, or up here higher. We're 60, right up in here, nearing this double top when we were forming our little final consolidation up there. Vincenzo took this as a mountain double top, and the targeted move would be from the top to the bottom, right, to the neckline, which is down here. See where the little dot is? Neckline at the bottom of the blue support zone to the point of a breakout, and that gets you all the way down there. And look at that. Look how beautiful that gets you, right down to that $13,000 target. And that is where this is going to go after this finally breaks down. Is this a confirmed breakdown yet? We're not sure. Does it look like it is? It seems to be, but we got to let the price action play out. Same thing with XRP. We had our 20-cent target in XRP. As we go back down memory lane, we'll make this one a little bit bigger and make this dark blue because it's easier to see. And since we're talking about this area, we'll make this dark blue. And you can see this was a big rising or symmetrical triangle, upper resistance, upper resistance, upper resistance, upper resistance, a descending fashion, 90 degree angle right here at the entry of our triangle, and then uptrending support, 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 neutral continuation pattern, which means it could break up or down. But old Vincenzo for months was saying this was going to break to the downside, and a technical target to the downside would be from the top to the bottom of the triangle to the point of a breakout, and that got you right down there to our 18 to 20 cent target. And that's why we had that target put on here right there, just like Bitcoin. Oops. Just like the Bitcoin. We need to get into here. We need to change that now. Just like Bitcoin price that we put down, and we put end of year 2022 18 to 20 cents, and that was when XRP was way up in here, right? Way up in the triangle still at the beginning of the year, the end of the year last year in 2021, and the beginning of the year this year in January, when we were telling you that, and now the price is down there, and eventually this is going to break to the downside and come down to that target. Is it time to do that now? Doesn't have to be necessarily. Does it look like it wants to? Yes. You can see we're still under this long consolidation, and this looks to be another bear flag where you got your horizontal resistance, and if you went to the downside, right, you got your horizontal support, and you could say this is a flagpole right here, and you would take it from the top to the bottom to the point of a breakout, and that would get you right down just below that critical blue support zone at about 28 to 30 cents of that local supply zone that we're talking about. So on the downside move in XRP, this is what you're looking at in the short term right there on your technical analysis and your micro pattern. But if you look at your macro pattern, you can see we're still into this long consolidation after the great dump of June of 2022 that put into motion the catastrophic liquidations and bankruptcies that we've seen. But I still believe at the end of the year, if we look at XRP price, right, you can see from the first big boom to bottom in XRP, the first big boom to bottom in XRP took about roughly 805 days, right? That's just over 2 years to hit your bottom, right? And the bottom was a substantial, let's get this over here. The bottom of this was a 96.64% fall, right? 900 days it took. So here's your local top. If we come out 900 days-ish, that brings you at a bottom October 2023. We got another year left in this bear market, and that's what old Vincenzo was saying. If you watch some of my very first videos when I had one of these patterns on here showing you how the XRP price would roughly go in this bear market, and it was something similar to that, right? That the price was going to come down 90 something percent, and that also got me right down to our 18 to 20 cent target. And that was another way I kind of seen this playing out. But if you kind of fit this in and extended it a little bit longer, you can see how we could get all the way down. And this seems to be more of how the track's playing. And this how you could get all the way down to that 11 cents. And that's something that I'm watching. And that's something that you need to watch and see in a fractal with Bitcoin. And that's why I think this bear market's only about half over. And I don't think there's going to be a bottom in XRP until sometime mid next year, or even late next year, if we go off of the same thing that happened in XRP back here. And that's what we've been playing off of. And that's why I was telling you. And if you watch videos from last year, I was showing you XRP would not be making an all-time high for at least 15 to 20 months, but 1.5 to 2.5 years, because that's how long it took it here. And now why wouldn't it take that much longer here when there's a lot of money in there again? And that's why I believe that we're going to hit some of these major, you see down here. We need to shrink this. It's not going to go that long. We need to shrink that a little bit. I think by the end of next year, right like that. But that's why I think we're going to get to some of these major golden pocket accumulation zones in XRP, and a way to make you 1000x. And that's why I've started to put out these 1000x videos to show you how super simple and easy, with basic education, a game plan, fortitude, and the drive, the knowledge, the education, and able to stick to the game plan in the face of adversity and in the face of all the hype trains that are going out there, to understand what's actually going on, to play the game to win the game, not to play the game to hope, to play to win. And that's what we're doing here at Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and that's why we're putting out 1000x titles, because I believe we're going to get back into the 1000x accumulation zone. You see, you had a brief window here last time for the 1000x. You had about, minus this pump right here to 32 cents, but you had roughly almost a year, minus right here, you had almost a year's worth of accumulation in the golden pocket, the beginning of the accumulation zone, and then dipping down near the golden pocket, right? But you had almost a year, about 3/4 of a year, to accumulate solidly into this orange zone to make you 1000x. Because if you bought, just averaged in, minus that pump right there, if you just averaged in even near the top part of this, you made, if you look at up here at the peak, you made 900% if you bought the top part of this orange consolidation zone, or the beginning of our max accumulation zone in orange, right? And then if you nibbled in there when it peaked down there, you had a few days down there to get the golden pocket. And the same thing here, you had an extensive period to accumulate in this orange support zone. And I think, again, you're going to get extended period down here in this orange support zone, 6 months, 8 months. And then I think even this time you're going to get a longer period, somewhere down near this 8 to 12 cent range, to do max accumulation in the 1000x zone. And that's why we're watching this fractal, and I believe it's going to pay off and pay out in the long term. Like, subscribe, and share this channel on your social media sites to get more exposure, to get this channel more traction. Hit that like button. It pushes us through the YouTube services and the YouTube algorithms. Peace and